Can you believe all these? A man born over 500 years ago imagined flying machines, studied the human body in secret, and created art the world still struggles to understand? Not in the modern age, not with advanced tools, but in the 1400s. This is the story of Leonardo da Vinci, a man who didn't just live in his time, he lived far beyond it. Most people know Leonardo da Vinci as an artist, the man behind the Mona Lisa. But that's only a small part of who he really was. He was also a scientist, an inventor, an engineer, and above all, a thinker. What made him different wasn't just talent, it was curiosity. He didn't accept things as they were. He constantly questioned everything. How does a bird stay in the air? How does water move? What makes the human body function? He wasn't just looking at the world, he was trying to understand it, and that curiosity filled thousands of pages. Leonardo left behind more than 7,000 pages of notes and sketches. Not meant for publication, not meant for fame, just his thoughts. His notebooks were like a window into his mind. Inside them, you'll find designs of machines, observations of nature, detailed drawings of the human body, and questions, endless questions. And here's something unusual. He wrote many of these notes in reverse, from right to left, in mirror writing. You need a mirror to read them properly. Why did he do this? Some believe it was because he was left-handed. Others think it gave him privacy. But either way, even his writing was different. Now imagine this. It's the 1400s. There are no airplanes, no engines, no concept of powered flight. And yet, Leonardo was obsessed with flying. He studied birds, carefully, scientifically, not just watching them, but analyzing how their wings moved, how they balanced in the air, how they controlled direction. From that, he began designing machines, flying machines, gliders, and even a device that resembles a helicopter. He wasn't guessing. He was applying logic and observation and imagination. Today, when engineers look at some of his sketches, they recognize familiar ideas. Not perfect designs, not machines that could have worked with the materials of his time, but concepts. Concepts that would only become reality centuries later. And that's what makes them extraordinary. He wasn't building the future, but he was thinking like someone who had already seen it. But perhaps even more surprising than his machines was what he did with the human body. Leonardo didn't just draw people, he wanted to understand what was beneath the skin. So he studied anatomy. And yes, this is true. He dissected human bodies. This is documented in his notebooks, which are now preserved in collections like the Royal Collection in the UK. He is believed to have dissected around 30 human cadavers. At a time when this was restricted and controversial, he worked with hospitals, observed closely, and recorded everything: muscles, bones, organs. His drawings were incredibly detailed, so detailed that even today doctors and scientists study them with respect. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Leonardo studied the human heart, not just how it looked, but how it worked. He observed how blood moved through it, how the valves opened and closed. And based on that, he made sketches and notes. Centuries later, modern science confirmed something incredible. The way he described blood flow, including the swirling motion inside the heart, was accurate. He had understood something that science would only fully explain much later. Think about that. A man in the 1500s observing and describing something that modern tools would confirm hundreds of years later. That's not just intelligence, that's vision. And then there's his art, the Mona Lisa, one of the most famous paintings in the world. But what makes it so special? It's not just the subject, it's the technique. Leonardo used something called sfumato, a method of blending colors so smoothly that there are no sharp lines, no clear edges. This creates a soft, almost lifelike appearance. Her smile seems to change. Her expression feels alive. It's not static. It's interactive. And that's why, even today, people are still fascinated by it. Another masterpiece, The Last Supper. A painting that captures a powerful moment. But here's something people don't often know. Leonardo experimented with techniques while creating it, and because of that, the painting began to deteriorate much earlier than expected. Even great minds take risks, and sometimes those risks don't go as planned. Now, here's something unexpected. Leonardo didn't finish many of his works. In fact, a large number of his projects remained incomplete. Why? Because he kept moving on to new ideas, new questions, new explorations. He wasn't focused on finishing, he was focused on understanding. And that's a very different mindset. He didn't separate art and science. To him, everything was connected. To draw the human body, you needed to understand anatomy. To design machines, and you needed to understand nature. He combined observation, imagination, and logic, and that combination is what made him extraordinary. Born in 1452, Leonardo da Vinci imagined things that wouldn't exist for centuries: flying machines, scientific studies, detailed anatomy. He wasn't just ahead of his time, he was thinking in a completely different way, a way the world wasn't ready for yet. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just a genius, he was a reminder. That curiosity can take you beyond your time. That observation can reveal things others miss. And that imagination can shape the future. Because sometimes the most unbelievable minds aren't imagining things that don't exist. They're simply seeing what the world hasn't discovered yet.
If you found these fascinating, hit like and subscribe for more interesting stories and facts. Comment below which part surprised you more.